Play to the camera as well when you're talking. When you're talking, play to the camera as well.
I was say you just knocked me out the.
No, I got you. Oh, we still got like 2 minutes. Can you go on your Facebook page? Oh, never mind. I see the people joining.
Me?
No, I was talking to Valerie. Don't worry about it. Hi, everybody. Please share this with your friends and family as you join. You do not want to miss this. Oh my God, it is going down. Today we're going to be talking about life after life. It's a big deal. Life after life happens. Wish y'all could hear this in the headphones. What's up, Milwaukee and the world? Welcome to another episode of Saved and the City on WKJJ WBJQ 101.3 FM with your girl, Iberia. Yes, you are locked live and in living color. And if you're driving in your car and you're like, man, I don't want to miss what they're going to be talking about today, then once you get into your job or you get home or wherever you're going, you can also log on to www.ikjjradio.org. Again, that's www.ikjjradio.org, and you can listen on your laptop, on your mobile device, on your iPad, just anywhere you can get internet. Be sure to like me on Facebook at Saved in the City. Stay connected to our group so you can stay connected. Follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, Snapchat. I'm everywhere that you want to be. Shout out to Mima's Gourmet Delights, our weekly sponsor, who also happens to be my mama. She better be sponsoring. We appreciate you so much over here at Saved and the City. If you're looking for any Southern style dessert, I'm talking about the real deal homemade caramel cakes, sweet potato pies, peach cobblers, pear cobblers, anything that you can think of, you definitely want to hit her up. Just give her a call at 414-418-0616. Again, that's Mima's Gourmet Delights, 414-418-0616. She also does receive text messages. Also, shout out to Luminosity Enterprises for all of your marketing support. Shout out to Afeni Grace, who couldn't be here today, my normal assistant in the studio, but I'm so blessed to have Valerie Yelk in the studio today, supporting me as I move forward in what God has given me to do. And just shout out to each and every one of you who are just weekly supporters, and just, you know, those folks who jump in my inbox and just encourage me. You have no idea what that does to help me keep going, because I guarantee you, when you decide to do something for God, there will be an attack. And so you got to be prayed up, you got to be prepared, and you got to have an amazing accountability circle around you to reach those goals. And so I'm just so blessed today, just really for this entire month. I've really enjoyed the series that we've been talking about. It's been the Life After series. And for those of you who've been following along, I know you've been tremendously blessed. I mean, we've talked about life after death with Kenza Don. We talked about, life after divorce with Pastor Linnell. We had Pastor Melva on here, and we were just talking about life after loss, whatever that thing is, whatever it is. You know, sometimes it's not just a physical person, but sometimes you've lost a job, or you've lost hope. You know, whatever that thing is, and how do we pick up the pieces? What does God say to us about what we can have? You know, and so that's what we're here for, just to remind you, because life will make you feel like you can't have nothing. And so today we're going to continue and kind of conclude the Life After series with a topic I'm calling it Life After Life. because life will deal you all kinds of hands, just bad hands, flipped upside down hands, lemon hands, just all kinds of stuff. And what a blessing that I don't have to talk about it all by myself. I'm so excited to have the one, the only, Pastor Steve. You in the studio with me. How you feeling this morning?
Doing well.
It's early in the morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, wake up. No. No, so we're here. We're live. I mean, I love this man, you know, and that's the thing. You never know who you're touching along the way. But Pastor Steve, I watch you. You are a man of integrity. I love what, you know, I went through ministerial excellence. And what's your position with ministerial excellence?
I'm the dean of students.
Yeah, so he's the dean of students. Like, this big time. I'm like, yes. And so, but I've watched you, and you just deliver the word with such grace and integrity. And so I said, I got to have you on, because I know that your life hasn't always been a bed of roses, right? And so what I would love for you to do is just tell the people a little bit more about who you are, and then let's just jump right into your testimony.
I'm Steve Robertson.
Yes.
I love God.
Come on. That's enough.
So talking about life after life is huge for me. I grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The youngest of my mother and father had 8 kids. And my father had kids before my mother's age, during my mother's age, and after my mother's age. My father left my mother when she was pregnant with me, 7 months.
Wow.
We grew up in the inner city, in the local projects, Highland Park projects in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I grew up with what they had called an inferiority complex. I hated me. You see the birthmark on my forehead is red. People can be cruel. I know they say sticks and stones may break your bones, but words never hurt. That's a story.
Sometimes they cut deeper.
From hell. There's life and death in that tongue. And you know, words can hurt. It can kill. Just like it can inspire. It can help. It can encourage. It can tear down. It can speak death. So you know what? We got to be so careful with the words that come out of our mouth. So I grew up with feelings of inadequacies, feeling of rejection.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes if I saw people laughing and I didn't know what they was talking about, I thought they was laughing at me.
Yeah.
I thought if I was comparing myself to anybody, that's what the Bible says, don't compare yourself to each other.
True.
If you compare yourself with one another, you're people most unwise. And that's why we realize that sometimes it's not the wisest thing in life to be comparing yourself with others. But I grew up with a feeling of inferiority, spirit of rejection. The spirit of rejection was on me early on. So
now, where did that come from? Initially, I know you said you have the birthmark, but so was it all stem from that, or where did all of that come from?
I think a lot of it is the pit from the bottom of the pit of hell.
Yeah.
I think the devil comes to try early on, and then he tries to get a doorway in people's lives.
Wow.
And I think sometimes if we're not really sensitive to what's going on, even the smallest things can be interpreted by people that internalize things without speaking it out.
Wow.
And you may not even realize what's going on.
Wow.
You know, so I think that's why we have to really pray for our children, and we have to, you know, plead the blood over their lives, cover them with the blood of Jesus, and prayer, and surround them with faith and love. But in the midst of it, I grew up in a Christian home. My mother was saved and she loved God, you know, and we was at church all the time.
Right.
Doors open. But in the midst of it, the devil was still trying to get attacked. You know, and I think the devil was actually trying to stop what God wanted to do. And I think anytime we really want to go after the things of God, and God has a purpose and a plan for our life, we have to realize that the devil also has a plan and purpose for our life.
Yeah.
You know, the Bible talks about, he knew us before the foundation of the world. And if he knew us and he had a plan and a purpose for our lives before the foundation of the world, we best believe that the devil also realized that he comes to steal, kill, and destroy. But in the midst of it, so, you know, make a long story short, you know, I attempted suicide at a young age. You know, I wanted to get out of life.
How old? Young is young.
I was young is under 10.
Whoa.
Yeah, young is under 10. You know, but in the midst of it, the devil doesn't. You know, the devil starts early trying to mess up people. He don't wait till a long time. But the midst of it, I woke up and it was light and right all around me. And, you know, I thought it wasn't heaven, y'all. I was in the county general hospital back then. But in the midst of it, back then I was thinking that I was focused in on my problems. I was focused in on things that wasn't going good.
Yeah.
I was focused in on the things that I wish I had that others didn't have, or I wish that I had that others had. Or, you know, and in the midst of it, I had to really realize that that life is like a roller coaster. There's gonna be some ups and there's gonna be some downs, but sooner or later you just hold your breath, because you're gonna be back on the ground. It's almost like going to Six Flags and you scared, and some people may lift their hands up on a roller coaster ride. Some people may scream. Some people may hold their breath. Some people may cry.
Screaming and losing my entire life on the roller coaster. I can't do it. But sometimes I have to close my eyes and say it's not gonna be like this always. Wow.
Sooner or later I'm gonna be back on this ride. So in the midst of it, I think the devil meant it for my evil, and people meant it for my evil, but God meant it for my good. That brings me to the story of Joseph. I love Joseph. He's one of the best characters in the Bible for me that I really appreciate. That after his brothers did him wrong, the brothers lied on him. They lied on him. They sold him into prison. They put him in a pit. And in the midst of it, he told them at the end, he said, y'all meant it for evil, but God meant this thing for good. And so some of the things, I call it life after life, but also life before life.
Wow, I love it. Now, what I wanted to say, though, because you made an amazing point. When you were talking about you said you were in the church. A lot of times people feel like when you're not in the church is when you have all of these things kind of going on. And a lot of times when you are in church, the enemy is going to come, like you said, even harder, because he's trying to distract you from hearing the word, because we know faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. And so a lot of times when you are doing the right things, that's when those attacks and those distractions are going to happen even more. Right? Am I right about it?
Absolutely.
We can keep going.
He want to stop you from ever getting to your purpose, your destiny. He want to stop you from being the man or woman of God that God has for you.
Yeah. And so it's insane. It's crazy how things can happen. Yeah, I'm looking at some of my Facebook viewers, and Clarissa is saying, "Preach! He is my son's advisor, a good man." Absolutely. And so it's insane, kind of how things will happen. But that is, like you were saying, that is the tactics of the enemy, to keep you distracted, to keep you completely moved, so that you can't realize your purpose. He wants you to commit suicide, whether it's a physical suicide or whether it is a spiritual suicide. So what was that? Like you said, you woke up and there was lights.
Yeah.
What was that changing point? We got probably another 5 minutes.
The thing I'm saying is, I woke up and I had to realize that it's I wasn't even successful in trying to kill myself.
Wow.
So I had to realize that I'm here for a reason. I'm here for a purpose. And I had to come to the realization that God loved me even when I didn't love myself. God loved me when I couldn't even, I wasn't reaching the approval that I thought that I wanted to have from other people. I had to realize that God validated me first. Wow. Even when Jesus was being baptized in the water by John, before he entered into his ministry, the dove came down and he said, he heard a voice opened up from heaven that said, "This is my beloved son in whom I'm well pleased." The Father had to tell Jesus, "Hey, this is my beloved son and I'm well pleased." Wow. I had to realize that I was fearfully and wonderfully made. I had to realize that God loved me with an everlasting love, regardless of what was going on in my life, my past, whatever. The cards that I've been dealt with was cards that God ordained. There's a purpose, there's a plan for my life, and the plan of my life is to fulfill God's purpose. That's why on my Facebook page is on purpose, on my or steps on purpose. I love it. Because every step I think you got to take on purpose. Yeah. And you got to live this life on purpose.
Yeah, I love it. And so you have talked about, because I know in ministerial excellence, you talked about, how far kind of life has taken you to the left. So we kind of see where you were and how you came back, but how far left did you go? Because you were kind of in the streets. You were.
I think the devil just want to trick you. He wants you to he wants you to think the opposite of what God wants you to think. Yeah. God believes that there's a purpose, there's a plan for your life. The devil want to make you think that, God doesn't love you, there's no plan, there's no purpose for your life. You can't do this, you can't do this.
Right.
And sometimes in the midst of it, you have to really work on you. Right. And what I had to decide to do was I had to work on me. I had to realize that just because you made a mistake or you had some bad thing happen, that a lot of people had similar things that happened to them, and that the story didn't end there.
Look, I'm trying to get you to go to those similar things, because when you can call out, at least you don't have to go with everything, but if you can call out one or two of the things that you were stuck in and got out of, I guarantee it's going to free somebody. Because a lot of times when we're talking about stuff and people, but when you say, I was on drugs, I'm not sure if you were, I was on drugs, that helps somebody who's caught on drugs. If I say, I was in adultery, then that's going to help. You know what I mean? So
sure.
Where were you and where did you go?
Yeah.
How did you get out?
All I'm saying is, I think for me, it was just a battle of things that was coming at me.
Yeah.
So on one hand, it was the self-esteem stuff. It was the low. It was the depression stuff.
Yeah.
It was the spirit of rejection stuff.
Yeah.
It was the going through facing like there was no purpose in me. There was no potential in me.
Yeah.
And then things happen. Life happened.
Yeah.
My mom died when I was 10. My
Wow,
father was rejected. It wasn't there.
There we go.
My mother died when I was 10.
There we go.
So dealing with the grief, and stuffing the grief on the inside can mess you up. So in the midst of it, I had to, I would go through just keeping stuff internalized and realizing that, I wasn't saying that I wasn't letting it out, but it would come out in other ways. It would come out in anger. It would come out in depression. One minute everything was fine, then like a cold chill would come over, and now you got a whole different mood swing. And you realizing that in the midst of it, that I had to come to the realization that I needed to do whatever I needed to do to be free. And I had to open myself up to God. And the other thing, one book that I love, that changed my life, I say besides the Bible, this book changed my life so much, was Search for Significance by Robert McGee. And the whole book is talking about where do you get your self-esteem and your worth from? Do you get it from your performance and other people's opinions about you? Or do you get it from the Word of God? The premise of the book is that if you get it from your performance, what about the day that you have a bad game? If you if you're more valuable when you take that last shot and you make that last shot, but what about the day when you take that shot and you miss that shot? If you get your worth and your value from other people's opinions about you, you know what? One day they're saying hallelujah, blessed is he who come in the name of the Lord. But what about that next day when they're talking about crucifying or crucifying? In the midst of it, the book helped me to realize that God had a purpose, a plan for my life, and that purpose and plan for my life, that what made me valuable wasn't because of my potential, wasn't just because of my performance, it wasn't just because of other people's opinions about me, but it was because God created me one of a kind. He broke the mold when he made me. He had a plan and he had a purpose for my life. And in the midst of what I'm going through, it's not about what you're going through, it's about where you're going to. It's not about where you've been through and things you've been through, but where you're going. So I had to start talking to myself. It's not going to be like this always. I had to start to speak God's word out of my mouth. You know what? I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. You know what? I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. I'm the head and not the tail, above only and never beneath. I had to start to speak God's word even when I wasn't feeling like it. I thought, the devil would say, you lying to yourself. That's not the truth. That's not what you are. But I had to stop. I had to speak God's word over and over in my mouth until it became I started to believe what I was hearing.
Wow.
Faith
you can have what
hearing.
Yep. You can have what you say.
So, so I had to make sure I was saying what God was saying, because I wasn't believing it and I wasn't saying what other people were saying. I had to realize that I had to say what God says even when it didn't look like it. It's not going to be like this always. It's not going to be like this always. I had to start singing songs, making songs up. It's not going to be like this always. I had to encourage myself in the Lord.
Yes.
You know what? And in the midst of it, I think the stuff that I've been through helped me to help other folks go through similar stuff.
Absolutely.
Because I realized that God will see you through dark times, tribulations, persecutions. God will see you through. And it's no excuses. You can't have no excuses.
Right. And I think once we get to the point where we understand that all things work together for the good, then we understand that even with the negative and even with the bad and even with the rejection and even with the thoughts of suicide, that if we can hold on just a little bit longer, that there will be victory on the other side. Oh my God. That's the Pastor Steve I was looking for. Yes. Good morning, y'all. We are here live and in living color. Let's go to that first song and we'll be back with Pastor Steve. We're dealing with life after life. This is King Kong by Montre Slayton. Let's go. Okay, so we're still live, so I can't talk about everything. So 8. I know only because I do this like every Wednesday.
I messed up and I'm so sorry. I thought I read 6 minutes.
Through. It was all kind of stuff, but that's how the enemy will do. Not with you, but I'm just saying because there was all this stuff.
No, I'm sorry. I read 6 minutes, so I apologize.
So we now here's the thing. I can't even. My trade's not here. We can keep going. Let's flow.
Yes.
I love it.
Holy Spirit, speak.
That's where I
have to contain myself.
I love when I feel Holy Spirit sit down.
Yes.
Ooh, and I was like, there it is. Hey guys, y'all might get a double dose because Montre, this is Montre Slate. Y'all are hearing Facebook. Y'all get all the stuff. Y'all get all the behind the scenes. Ooh, that's fire. But that's what I was talking about, was like, you know, it's good because when we, and I'm just talking in general, because I do the same thing, because I still have a few things that I need to probably, at some point I'm going to share my testimony about, but it's a little sensitive. You know, I don't want to share it just yet, you know, but when we get vulnerable and we share that intentional moment, it sets folk free. You already know it. And I don't have my phone number. You hear that, Tay? Hey. You know what we probably can do? I'll probably play one more song for Montre. Because once he gets here, he's going to have to leave right away.
Talking Jesus to everyone that I meet. You changed my life, so now I gotta take the time to thank.
If you guys are enjoying this, be sure to share this with your friends and family. Like it, comment. Oh, you know what else too? And I completely forgot. Word Up Challenge. For those who are watching, give me a scripture. Give me a scripture as it pertains to victory, as it pertains to life after tragedy. And the first person that puts a scripture up will get this week's Word Up Challenge. So I need y'all to get y'all word right now in the morning. I love that. My God is so big right now.
Beating on my chest, they call me King Kong. Beating on my chest, they
That's Montre Slate, but he ain't in the studio. Montre, where you at?
Jesus died and he ain't staying long. That's why I'm beating on my chest like King Kong.
How many more minutes on that one?
Minute and 24 seconds.
Y'all got a little break while we waiting for the song to go, so go ahead and get you some coffee. But I need y'all to come right back here. Hey, is that you? Is that you rapping? I think that's you. You know, Tay Spears? Yeah, he was saying hey earlier. Hey, Bree. Laverne. Sandra. Carlissa. Tina. Therese. Takia. I didn't even see y'all. Al Wesley McKenzie in the house. Lenise, Martina.
I feel so big right now.
Hey.
We here. All right, Clarissa, you got this week's Word Up Challenge. Carlissa, Lotus Flower Tucker. I will inbox you your prize, and you can come and pick it up if you're in the city on a Wednesday.
I feel so big right now.
I feel so big right now.
My God is so big right now. My God is so big right now. I feel so big right now. I feel so big right now.
You ain't gonna have no headphones for
My God is so big
Still
right
have
now.
it. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
And we are back. You are locked live and in living color to Saved in the City each and every Wednesday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here on 101.3 FM. And I am loving it this morning. We're talking about life after life with Pastor Steve. I mean, it's been a very amazing morning already, and we've just been talking about, you know, life sometimes deals you a bad hand, and you get all kinds of stuff and all kinds of things talking to you after you have experiences, and you know, maybe you've been hurt, and so now here's the seed of rejection has now settled in, or you know, maybe somebody said something crazy about you, and now you're feeling insecure about how you look and what you wear and how you talk and all of these different types of things. And the crazy part about it is that we have to choose. We have to choose to live our life and to be more and to be better. And so I'm sitting here with Pastor Steve, and I want to jump back in before we go to another break and just give folks some steps to recognize. Sometimes you don't even recognize you when you're in a bad situation until you wake up and the lights are above your head. So give them some steps to kind of begin to recognize when you are not walking in your purpose. and maybe even just some steps that you personally took to get to where you are today.
The first thing I want to say is that in the midst of it, life happening, there's going to be all kind of stuff that come at you. And when God has a plan and a purpose for your life, just like Jesus had all kind of things that try to stop him from getting to the cross and coming down here, there's a lot of things that are going to stop you from trying to reach your destiny, your purpose in life. And you just got to make your mind up that one is that I'm going through this. But I'm not just going through it. The focus can't be on what you're going through. The focus got to be on where you're going to.
I love that.
So in the midst of what you're going through, you can't start having a pity party. You can, you have to learn how to encourage yourself. You have to learn how to press through. You have to learn how to, to focus in on God, not just focus in on your problems.
How did you realize where you're going to? Because a lot of times that's the problem. We don't know where we're going. You know what I mean? Especially when you get into that low place, it feels like I'm not going anywhere, so I should take my life, or I'm not going anywhere, I don't know where to go. How did you realize this is where I need to go?
One is I had to stop focusing on me. I think a lot of times what we do when people are depressed or when they're feeling low, they focus in on them, their problems, and their situations. I think sometimes we got to turn our focus to other people. And in the midst of you trying to help somebody else out, you'll begin to help yourself out. And I think when you begin to focus in on him and not just on them, sometimes you got to realize that it will cause you all kind of problems. And you got to keep your eyes focus in on him. And he said, yea, though we walk through the valleys of the shadows of death, we don't have to fear no evil because he's with us. So I had to start to realize, hey, he's with me. I mean, I feel like they may not be with me, but he's with me. So in the midst of what I'm going through, he's with me and I'm going through it. You know what? Yea, though we walk through the valleys of the shadows of death, I don't know where I'm going on to necessarily every step, but I'm taking it in faith and knowing I'm going through it. I'm going through this valley. I'm going through this hard time. I'm going through this divorce. I'm going through this problem. I'm going through this circumstance. I'm going through dealing with kids that's not acting right. I'm going through it, but I'm not just going through it. I'm going to it.
Come on. Wow. For those who just joined, you got that. So you're not just going through it, you're going to it. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to one more song by Montre Slayton. We'll be right back after this with Pastor Steve. Let's go. Fire! We're coming back at the end. Okay. That was good. Come on, Montre. Ooh, you about to get a whipping.
You know I would never be there.
You don't understand what we just had to do. That's why he had the little chunk up in there. I really want to be like, that's all. No, because then I'm like, dang, that's okay. You better be glad you're my brother. I'm like, what we playing? Yeah, I really was about to be like, Montre. Okay. Wasn't that good? That was God, right, Kimberly? This is an exclusive?
Huh?
This is one of the exclusives?
Yeah.
Okay.
So are we doing 6 minutes then?
Okay. Yeah, I'm like all over the place to this.
Okay.
Normally I'm like not even.
Okay.
But thank you though. Yeah, just let me know like what time it is.
Okay. It's,
Can we
it's 8:26.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. My life.
So check this out, y'all.
You pay the price.
And before you leave,
You
you
came
take
through
a
like
picture.
Jordan.
Okay.
Every time. That's what we call you amazing.
Hey,
People make
this is exclusive. Hey Bishop Slayton. Taste Spirit said, hey Bishop Slayton. Wake up.
Oh, yeah. When I hear your name,
Yeah. Said, oh yeah. Exclusively on Saved in the City.
When I think about your love for
This the first time it's been played on the radio?
When I think of how you said
Look, I'm gonna need you to give me some life. You here? Okay. You are. I am life.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Once you get that mic together, we're going to cut it short because we already over time with
Oh, we go in.
Okay.
We good now.
Oh, okay. I don't know what I'm just looking at. I'm looking at you on that mic. Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No days off. Gotta keep working. No vacation. Gotta keep going.
Yay.
I'm just gonna bring you in over the song
Okay.
a little bit.
Let's go. What's up, y'all? That's Bishop Slayton with the sexy gospel. I can't take it. Oh my God. So Montre is here. You know, I thank God for Pastor Steve. For those people who have been kind of hanging with us, we're talking about life after life. You know, life can deal you all kind of stuff. Like what happened with Montre, life dealt him some traffic. So he was a little behind, but he's here.
I'm here.
You here. Montre was actually my first guest on my very first show, September 28th, 2016. And he never got played. So I was like,
I'm in the Hall of Fame right
you
now.
in the Hall of Fame, like you that one. Yeah, you are life, like you said. So Montre, give them a little bit of something real quick. Let them know a little bit about who you are, you know, and you know, just your music itself, because you were an R&B artist and then you decided to do gospel. Why that transition?
I started to do gospel because I was really never comfortable doing R&B. I was doing the music, but I was never comfortable in the scene of performing the music. And one day God just told me, like, you need to come home. So and that's what I did, and he told me to be myself. And that's what I had to do.
I love it, because and that's what I always tell people, don't try to imitate, like be uniquely you, because there are people that are called to your voice, to your sound, and exactly what it is that you do. So let's talk about that was where we just listened to?
Yeah, that was,
Yeah, so that's exciting, because that's like an exclusive record on Saving. Y'all the first to hear. That's what I'm saying. Saving the City audience. I give it to you first. So what's the inspiration for that song right now?
It's just, you know, like how you just feel when you hear Jesus' name. You just like any situation when you just think about him, you just like like when you forget about him, then it come back to you like I remember you now. Like that's what the song is basically about. And the whole album is really being real. Like it's gonna talk about all kinds of situations that I've dealt with that maybe somebody else dealt with, and just putting it into music form, and it's gonna be dope. Like everything's gonna be great.
Because especially when you have God, you know, there is no other option than victory in the end, right? How about it? Even when it looks like maybe not the best situations, you know, because we've all been through stuff, and I know you have some amazing testimony, you know, that you can share, but we'll definitely have to have you on for that. But so let's just talk about really quick who's on the album. I mean, who is the producer? Is it all you? Are you the writer? You know, what? Tell us about that.
Mostly me. I don't think I have any features right now, but it's mostly me. The very first single was written by Trax Sanders, though.
Hey,
shout out to Trax.
What's up, Trax?
He actually got the ball rolling for me because I really didn't know what to do, and when he wrote that song for me, the "Be Myself" song, and I was like, that's the one right there, because it was like exactly how I felt, and like how a lot of people feel. So that's what got everything going.
I love it. So we're going to go back to another feature. So tell us about the next song we're going to hear. We already listened to King Kong, and then we did listen to Oh Yeah, so now we're on.
Okay, so Be Myself is written by Trax, produced by Trax, and this song is basically about being yourself in God. Like, as long as you love God, just be yourself.
I love it. I love it. Montre, I'm so glad that you can make it out. Next time we'll talk a little bit longer. We're going to go to the next song, an exclusive right here on Saving the City by Montre Slayton. Let's go. Excellent. Let's see. If you could play it out, Josh, that would be awesome. Okay. Are we going to get a quick photo?
Yes. Yay. Beautiful. 1, 2, 3. One more. Good.
Okay. All right. So you can move out. Alright, quick.
So I can go to work?
Yes, you can go to work. Can you play it so they can hear the exclusive? Joshua, unplug the fans. Joshua. Come on for the beats. And we about to move. G, come on. G was on time. I just want you to know. G was on time.
You know, I'm always on time.
You are always on time. You always hold me down.
It's 8:32.
Tay Spears said, no features, bro. Let me start writing my verse. Can you play it out, Joshua? You can't hear me. Oh my God, I'm sitting next to a superstar. Like, you've been on TV with her. You're like, look, that's so disappointing. Come on, money, flow into my hands.
Cause I tell them, Lord, I'm never walking away. I'ma keep loving you, till the day I fly away. I know I can only be me, cause that's how you made me to be. As long as I follow your word, I'm okay by me. I want to love you, Lord, and every little thing that I do.
Tay, I love how hard you ride with me on this morning.
No matter what they tell me to do, 'cause they say I'm wild now, they say I'm tripping, they say I'm losing myself.
This is gospel music, guys, that we're listening
They got me so confused.
Montre got that's why they tease him and call him sexy gospel, because they be like, it's
tell me what you want me to do. Why can't I just be myself and still love you? Still love you. Why can't I
y'all share this with your friends and family?
still love you? 'Cause I tell them, boy, Lord, I'm never walking away. 'Cause I'ma keep loving you, till the day I fly away. I know I can only be me.
We are not going to promote that tag. That's the devil.
As long as I follow your word, I'm okay by me. I'm okay.
How many more minutes on that song, Joshua?
I don't really know the deal. There's a whole lot of hate. There's a whole lot of hate in the church. Lord, I know I can only be me.
All right.
Here you go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And we are back. You are locked live right here to Saved in the City each and every Wednesday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. with your girl, Iberia. Yes, that was another exclusive by Montre Slayton. You guys definitely got to cop that. Oh my God, this has been an amazing show. You know, you got to be able just to flow with how things go. And so I'm just so excited to have these amazing folks right here in the studio with me. And I can't wait to talk to this week's Milwaukee Treasure on Facebook Live. You see him lounging out with the headphones on. We're going to talk to G in a minute. But before we do that, we're going to jump right into our church announcements. And basically what that is just weekly events and things that are happening right here in our city. And if you have an event or community happening that's going on, you can send them to me at savedandthecitymke@gmail.com. Again, that's savedandthecitymke@gmail.com, and I will announce it right here on the show. So let's jump right into that. So Calvary's Christian Academy is enrolling for the 2017-2018 year and their new early childhood center, ages 6 weeks to 4 years old. They are located at 3131 South 100th Street. They say if you're looking for a warm Christian environment with small classes that is accredited, then you definitely want to be there. Give Shalina Harvey a call at 414-983-7084. Now I thought this was kind of cute and kind of funny. Somebody wanted me to announce their family reunion happenings, and I'm like, does your family listen to my show? Because if not, then they may not hear it, you know. And it's not really a public event, but we just gonna announce it. So it says, dear family and friends, this is from the Folsom and Jenkins family. This says the Folsom and Jenkins family reunion will be held in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, for the first time since 1997. That's a big deal for them. On Thursday, June 29th through Sunday, July 2nd. Registration is $65 for adults, $35 for youth ages 7 to 18. And children ages 6 and under are free. So you can just go to www.fjreunion.info, and maybe, I don't know, maybe it is a public, maybe they want the whole public to come and be a part of their family reunion. But you can definitely shout out Demetrius or Derek Robinson if you have questions. And again, just go to www.fjreunion.info. They look forward to seeing each of you on June 29th. Shout out to Jennifer Washington McMurray. It's time for SWAP, Sisters with a Purpose, the 2017 conference, and she's calling it Rebranding Your Purpose. A lot of talk about purpose these days, and this is happening June 3rd at the 4 Point Sheraton, 8900 North Killdeer Court in Brown Deer, Wisconsin, 53209. And some amazing guests: Chantel McKenzie, Marcus Adams, Denise Taylor, Nick Dillon, and Sierra Sherrod. So many things happening right here in our city, so you definitely don't want to miss that. We had Gumbleman Johnson, Chef Johnson, last week on the show as our Milwaukee treasure, and he's actually having a Father's Day brunch, and it's happening Sunday, June 18th, so make sure you check that out. The food is good, y'all. I'm not playing. The food is really good. 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. They have prime rib carving station, waffle station, omelet station, dessert station, salad bar, catfish, chicken, shrimp, crawfish, etouffee, grits, southern yams, greens, and so much more. Adults is only $25.99, seniors $23.99, and kids only $11.99. And also Jennifer Washington McMurray will also be the live performance during that time, and it's located at 2053 North Martin Luther King Drive. Again, you can just visit their website at bigeasymke.com or give them a call at 414-795-2733. Also, FAT, promoting health among teens. The sessions begin on July 11th. Make sure you reach out to Arletta Slaughter if you have a youth that would be interested between 11 and 17 years old and being a part of this summer session. Her phone number is 414-213-6889. Now, it's my favorite part of the show. This is where we have an opportunity to shine light on amazing people in our city. There's so much. I mean, I think I was just watching the news yesterday, and it was like 6 killings. And I mean, when you turn on the news, all you hear is death, destruction. Milwaukee is the worst in this, or this is going on here. And so, if we as a community don't take time to shine light on people who are doing positive things, who are building up our community, who are supplying jobs for our people, then what are we here for? So I'm so excited to have G. Is it Galen? That's why we call you G, right? Because can't nobody.
Exactly. It's Garland Smith.
Garland Smith.
Yes.
Oh my God, he be on like real stuff, and I'm like, you get to come to my show. I love it.
Stop.
I know. So G, let's tell the people who don't know who you are. Tell them a little bit about who you are, what you do, and then let's talk about the new project.
Okay. Again, my name is Garland Smith. Most people know me as G.
Yeah.
Owner of G's Clippers and Hair Design, which is a barbershop and beauty salon. Been in the community 22 years. Actually, I'll be celebrating my 22 years in business June 1st. Mm-hmm. And I started off with about 3 barbers in 95.
Wow.
And I have 26 barbers and 4 stylists. So I have 30 operators under one roof. Mm-hmm. Just recently, about 2 weeks ago today.
Wow, anniversary!
Today, I opened my 3rd location, which is now my only location. I did have 35 operators under 2 roofs, right, and now I have 30 under 1.
Where's the new location located?
The new location is 2200 North MLK, which is actually right on the corner of Garfield and MLK. Okay. So it's the old bank building. It's actually one of the most historic buildings in the Brownsville area. So it's a beautiful building, a lot of character, 25-foot ceilings, a lot of character. In the ceiling has the vault, the big vault in there. I mean, it's just an amazing location, and I was definitely blessed to be able to get that building and also to generate the partnerships I have.
Right.
The Milwaukee Bucks is now a community partner of G's Clippers, and now new on board is Milwaukee Tool. So Milwaukee Tool, some people say Milwaukee Tool, but you have to come in G's Clippers to see how significant Milwaukee Tool's partnership with G's is. Our workstations are literally a toolbox. You know, a huge toolbox. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm coming to tour.
Yeah, it's a toolbox. I mean, it's really cool. So they allowed us to get like about 25 of their toolboxes, and it just looks amazing in there.
Oh my God! And you're also part owner of Skybox as well, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm on my way.
Okay.
Out of Skybox. Skybox is a great place.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to go in a different direction. So actually, I sold my interest to Royce Rocket, who was a very good friend of mine since we were kids, and my brother still owns a portion of it. Myron is involved. But I just got so much on my plate now. You know, I'm Scoutmaster of a Boy Scout troop. I started G's Clippers Boy Scout troop about 4 years ago.
I did not know that. I love it. See, this is how I like to, talk so we can learn more about each other. I love it.
I just felt there was a need, you need to have intervention, if you will. We need scouting or organizations like scouting more so now than ever before. It truly takes a village to raise a child. So what we're trying to do through my Boy Scout troop is just trying to, fill that void, stand in the gap. I mean, back when I was growing up in the 70s and 80s, 85% of your households had both parents in the household, in the urban community.
This is true.
85% had both parents, and now today, in 2017, 85% of your households have only one parent.
Right, and sometimes barely.
Exactly.
Right, sometimes the kids raising
times,
kids.
That's a woman, and we have so many men out here, and young men out here, and there's only so much I feel that a woman can do. She could do her best, but there's only so much a woman can do and raising a young man to be a young boy to be a man.
Right.
So
shout out to your beautiful wife, Alta Smith, because y'all ready to be two-parent household. Come on in here.
Thank you.
No, I love it. And the other thing that I love about you is that you're so much more. And that's the thing. It's almost like you're a superhero, cloaked as a barber by day, but then by night, you're doing all of these other amazing things for the community. And so, I mean, G is like the supporter, sometimes seen, sometimes unseen, of like almost every major event, or a lot of major events. You can call him and say, look, I need a sponsor, whether it's a small event or something larger. He's there, whether it's supporting, giving haircuts, because you've done that before. Is that something you do every year now?
I do. I've been doing the back to school haircut. Free haircut for underprivileged youth. We do it at least 2 or 3 each summer, each August.
Right.
And our own, along with 2 other organizations. Now we do the Milwaukee Bucks back to school event as well. But I just believe that that a barbershop has more of a responsibility than help the community look good. We are the heartbeat of the community. We should be the healing place, if you will. Now a barber plays more a larger role, if you will,
that's
than
very
just
true.
in the community. For the most part, the barber is the only positive role model, in a young boy's life.
Wow.
African American male.
And you don't think about that.
So I mean, at G's, I would like to think we've answered the call, and we will continue answering the call and doing the best that we can do.
Thank you, G. Thank you so much for all that you've done in our community. You are this week's Milwaukee treasure, and I love that you don't take what you do lightly. Some people would, become a barber, and that's what they do. They cut hair, but you understand that there's a greater call, and that's what I try to share with my listeners and my viewers, is that you might be great at baking cakes, but there's a calling attached to your baking cakes. There's a calling attached to your cutting hair. There's something more for you to do, whether it's a mentorship or whatever it is. So sometimes that's what you can do. Look in yourself and figure out what that connection might be for what you might think is just something simple. So again, thank you so much, G, for all that you do. Thanks for getting up this morning.
Thanks for having me.
We definitely have to have you back for something else somewhere down the line. We appreciate you. So what we're going to do is go back to that first song by Montre, and we'll be right back after this. Yay. God, you're so awesome. You're
awesome. Great job.
Trying.
Can we take a photo?
Oh, yeah, photos.
Sure.
Yes. Oh, I love it. 1, 2, 3. One more. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Let me run to this shop.
Oh, yes, I'm like, go ahead. Exactly.
Anytime.
Okay, we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, absolutely.
It's 8:46.
Okay. So we were all off time.
That's okay. That's okay.
But it's been good, though.
Yeah.
Oh, is it playing?
I'm sure it is. Yeah. Yes, sir.
That's okay. God made it work.
But it's been like this, every Pastor Will does. Got caught in traffic, and so the whole first section I had to do by myself. So it's just flowing. Hey guys, isn't that awesome? I love him.
Such a good heart.
I know the world.
Such a good heart. He's got such a good heart.
You can feel it. It's just
I love how you said I'm gonna rub money.
What'd you say?
I love how you said, you know, you want the money to flow.
Oh, I was so serious. Like I said, I be so serious about it. I was like, I just thought about it.
I love it.
Gee, you about to sponsor this show?
And this how it's supposed to be.
No, you can move it up or down. No. It's like a guard if you don't want your mouth to touch it. But
okay, all right.
I think G moved it. He didn't want to.
Yeah,
he's like, what am I supposed to do?
That's fine.
Yeah, so we gonna
wrap it up.
Yeah, wrap it up. So I don't know. Do you have anything in mind specifically?
Huh?
Do you have anything in mind?
Like,
where you want to go?
I think that Joseph has 2 sons.
Okay, so let's start with Joseph, and I'm gonna let you go in there.
Yeah.
And then we can't forget the.
What time is it?
It's 8:47.
Okay, 8:47.
Yeah. Do you want me to?
So give me 55, like a minute before 55.
Okay.
Easy.
So 8 minutes. Okay.
Okay, we can fade down. I feel so big right now. That was Montre Sladen, King Kong. I love it. And we are back. I'm telling you, like, people just say it, but I love my guests. I mean, just amazing people. And so what we've been talking about for today was life after life. When we think about, you hear the saying, when life deals you lemons, you make lemonade, or sometimes life doesn't deal you the best hand. And so, we were being just very candid and talking about a lot of the negative seeds that we're planted and how we have a choice. We can either choose fear, walking in that, or we can choose faith, walking in that. And so we're still here with Pastor Steve. You still here with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, he's still here live and in living color. And so let's jump right back in. We're talking about life after life, and kind of off camera we were talking about the story of Joseph. You want to jump right in there?
Absolutely. Joseph, like I said, I love Joseph. He went through a lot. He was his father's favorite, but his brothers saw him coming, and his brothers hated him. Joseph had a dream, and one of his dreams was that his father and his brothers was bowing down to him.
Yeah.
And the brothers and got mad at him. The father was like, "We gonna bow down to you?"
Yeah.
But you know what? Joseph kept that dream, and he had another dream. But one day his brothers saw him coming. They talked about killing him, but they put him in the pit.
Yeah.
They sold him into slavery.
Yeah.
He actually went to Potiphar's house, and he became a servant. But nobody can stop when God's hand is on your life.
Wow.
Oh, you're the only person that can stop you from reaching your goal or your destiny. Your decisions determine your destiny. So in the midst of the Potiphar's house, God's favor was on his life. And you know what? When God's favor is on your life, Jesus said that, he, in Luke, the 2nd chapter, he grew in wisdom and stature, favor with God and with man. So Jesus grew in wisdom and stature, favor with God and man. We could grow also in the favor of God. But when Joseph was there, he became the next in line, but his Potiphar's wife was trying to get at him. Potiphar's wife was trying she was trying to get, she was trying to get at him. But in the midst of it, Joseph was still a man of integrity, and he wouldn't sleep with her. And one thing about Joseph, that even one day she was kept pressing at him, and that's what the devil will do. Every day he'll press at you.
Yeah.
And you got to realize that sometimes some sins he tell you just to submit yourself to God, resist the devil, and he'll flee from you.
Yeah.
Some things he tell you to run from, flee also youthful lust. So in the midst of all what's going on, Joseph, the lady was trying to get at him. Joseph actually, he ran out of his jacket because she was trying to pull out his jacket. She lied on him and said, have you ever been lied on?
Come on.
Have you ever been trying to do the right thing and you got lied on and people didn't understand you, they didn't believe you?
Yeah.
That's what happened to Joseph. He ended up getting put in prison. In the midst of prison, he was in there being faithful. In the midst of prison, all the things that some people would have said would have stopped him from being what God ordained him to be. Joseph was in prison. He interpreted a dream for the 2 of the king's servants. One was going to die and one was going to live. And he told them the interpretation, and he told them, remember me. When you get to your master, when you get to the king, tell me, have you ever been forgotten? Have you ever been forgotten by, when people promise you things, they let you down? They said you could depend on them, but they didn't. You couldn't depend on them. They said they had your back, but they didn't have your back. Matter of fact, they were stabbing you in your back. Have you ever been in that kind of situation? That's what Joseph was. But you know what? That didn't stop Joseph. Sooner or later, the king had the Pharaoh, the king had another dream, and they couldn't find nobody to interpret his dream. And somebody remembered that, hey, this was a man back in the prison that had the interpretation. The guy would give him an interpretation. They called Joseph, and long story short, you know the story. Joseph became the next in line. He told him about the king's dream, and there was going to be famine, it was going to be poverty. But you know what? In the midst of it, Joseph had 2 kids. Yeah. And one of his kids, his firstborn kid, was named Manasseh. The word Manasseh is, God has caused me to forget the toil of my father's house. God has caused me to forget the toil. Sometimes in your father's house, your mama's house, your sister's house, your auntie's house, there's some toil. Sometimes there's some secrets, there's some things that happen to you that shouldn't happen. Some things people did or said to you that they shouldn't have said. Joseph had a situation like that. And in the midst of that situation that Joseph had, Joseph named his first son Manasseh and said, God has caused me to forget the toil, the pain, the trouble of my father's house. The second child he had was called Ephraim. And Ephraim is significant because he said, God has allowed me to be fruitful in the land of my afflictions. God can give you fruit. He can bring you out. He can give you a purpose in the midst of your mess and the messed up situation. He can take that messed up situation and make a message out of it. So in the midst of it, Joseph's sons, one was, God caused me to forget. And sometimes you got to forget the toil of your father's house before he will allow you to be fruitful in the land of your afflictions. I'm going to tell you, don't let your past mess up your future. Don't let your past stink up your future. You got to deal with the past, forgive those folks. Forgive them for lying. Jesus on the cross said, Father, forgive them. For they know not what they do. They knew what they was doing. But you know what? He had the attitude that he got to forgive them. You know, I'm not going to worry about what they doing and why they doing what they doing. And they're not going to stop me from doing what I'm supposed to do. That's why, like, in the end of Joseph's life, when his father died and the brothers were scared, he said, you meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. God brought some good out of it. So what's my point? My point is there's no excuse. My point is you can stop trying to make excuses. It don't make it right, no what kind of way, regardless of what happened. Noah, he was a drunk. Abraham, he was old. We know the story. Jacob was a liar. Gideon was afraid. Rahab was a prostitute. Jeremiah and Timothy was considered young. Elijah was suicidal at a point. Jonah ran from God. In the midst of it, Peter denied Christ 3 times. The disciples fell asleep. In the midst of it, Timothy had an ulcer. John the Baptist ate bugs. And what? Man, Lazarus was dead. But in the midst of it, God brought him out. He brought him through. And God will bring you through too. You got to forgive, but you got to release them. They don't owe you nothing. You got to put it in God's hand. Sit back, relax, and let God do it.
No, he ain't going to give it to us and then just be like, there it is. What? Pastor Steve, whoa. Oh my God. Guys, receive that today. So, you know, we're at the point of the show where we move into the kingdom solution, and that was so fitting. And so here's some additional scriptures on top of everything that Pastor Steve was saying. If you think about it, everybody got something. Everybody has something that the world would look at and say, this says that you can't. This says that you won't. This says that it's over for you. But we have a choice when life deals us life to choose life. And so here's some scriptures for you to take along your way as we kind of wrap up. I can't believe we're at the end of the show already. Romans 5:3-5 says, not only, but we also glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance, character, and character, hope. And hope does not put us to shame, because God's love has been poured out into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who he has given to us. And then it goes on. I love this part here in Romans 8:17-18. It says, now if we are children, then we are heirs, heirs of God and co-heirs with Christ, if indeed we share in his sufferings, in order that we may also share in his glory. So sometimes we're dealing with stuff that seems like we're suffering, but I guarantee that what's up is down in the gospel. You know, the first shall be last, the last shall. You know, you got to understand that we have to operate in the word system and not the world system. And then verse 18 of chapter 8 in Romans says, I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed to us. So I'm asking you guys, I'm challenging you guys not to give up, to keep pushing, and just to believe that you can and you will if you keep God first. Oh my God, thank you all, to all of my guests. Pastor Steve, thank you so much for hanging with me. How can people stay connected to you?
They can look me up on Facebook. I'm Stephen Robertson on public page, or Steps on Purpose, or On Purpose.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And also shout out to Montre Slayton, which is our artist feature today. Shout out to G. Smith. Oh my God, just an amazing, humble man that's doing so much for the city. He was our Milwaukee treasure this week. And also to my weekly sponsor, Mima's Gourmet Delights. Again, if you are looking for any type of Southern style dessert, anything like that, then you can definitely check her out at 414-418-0616, or look her up online at www.mimaskitchen.com. Be sure to follow me on social media to stay connected to all things Saved and the City. And until next week, be encouraged.